Welcome back to day 2 of Force of Will previews. I'm Ryan.
And I'm Liana.
And we're here to talk about the new Lapis cluster cards.
This batch of cards is trial deck exclusive, which means you won't find them in Curse of the Frozen Casket.
Right, but they will be tournament legal, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And even more than that, many of them are tournament viable. We've got some interesting new cards to look at, starting with the fairy tale prince himself.
Milliam, the Prince of Light Palace, is the son of Grimm, the fairy tale prince, and just like his old man, he's got a will-fixing ability that makes it easier to play fairy tales.
It's not as universally flexible as old Grimm's, but he makes up for it by actually having a J-Ruler side.
But if his J-Ruler side gets the axe, you won't have that will-fixing ability anymore, so that's a serious vulnerability. Say something like Black Moonbeam?
Yeah, absolutely. Once you put him on the field, you'll have to go to serious lengths to make sure he doesn't die. And a lot of the go-to protection cards, like Drop of Yggdrasil, don't work on J-Rulers because they're Resonator specific.
Sure.
However, his new ability might be worth a risk. He starts off as a decent 900-900, but whenever he attacks, you get to roll a die and add that value to his attack in the form of 100-100 counters.
Yeah, it's really luck-based, though.
Right, but even if you roll lousy, you're still pushing him to 1,000-1,000. A couple of turns and your opponent is going to feel the strain. I definitely see the potential for an aggressive deck based around him.
Well, that's a good thing that Milliam won't be fighting alone, right? He's got his daddy there to back him up.
That's right, Grimm is back. A little grayer around the edges, but still a solid 8 out of 10.
We are talking about how good the card is, right?
We're talking about a lot of things, Ryan.
Okay, moving right along. So Grimm is no longer a wide-eyed little prince, right? He's much more combat capable now. He's got an ability to buff fairy tales and humans on your board. It's a little chancy, we'll say,
right. But even being able to buff your entire field by 100-100 turn after turn is a great addition to an aggressive deck. And for 3, he's not that pricey.
Right. However, fairy tales are at their heart a very kind of toolbox type of deck, right? They have a lot of situational abilities. Sometimes just like getting the right one is the pain with that build. So.
Right, which is why there's a lot of good search abilities built in. For example, Light Dress Cinderella.
Yes. Now, granted, you actually have to do damage with her first, but she can give herself flying, so unless your opponent's playing fairies, you got a good chance of getting in that early hit. I like it.
Right. And can we just take a moment to point out the phenomenal art? It's by the same artist who did the original Timeline Trio, and they really know how to give a lady some soft, delicate features.
Speaking of awesome art, Tinkerbell is back. At first glance, you could mistake this for like a real reprint, but it's actually a new card with a few different, kind of features to it.
Right, exactly. For one thing, Tinkerbell is actually a fairy this time, in addition to being a fairy tale. And she's apparently learned how to fly.
Which makes her, right there, hands down better than Tinkerbell the Spirit. Right?
Yes. But since they are technically 2 different cards, that means you can run 4 copies of each in your Wanderer deck, which is a format that's supposed to get tournament support soon.
That's kind of overkill, though, don't you think?
There's no kill like overkill.
Well, for those of us who prefer some subtlety to our beatdown, we also get cards like Fairy Tale Kingdom, Light Palace. It's an addition that will let you recover a Resonator at the end of your turn. Right?
Yeah, so it lets you swing all out, and then you can get a blocker back.
Yeah, so additions have been pretty, I'll say, underutilized so far, except for Emi no Hibikari's brief stint in the spotlight. It'll be interesting to see if this one makes it into competitive decks, makes a stand.
Yeah, I definitely see the beginnings of a Fairy Tale Rush deck, and these are just the starter cards too, so who knows what the rest of the set has.
Yeah, well, there's only one way to find out, right? And that is to hit subscribe and check back here for more card discussions you can only find from your friends at TCGplayer.com.
That's right. Until then, peace out, Internet. Bye.